Hey everyone, and welcome. I am so excited. I'm gonna see if my lighting works here. My daughter's hooked me up with some lighting. So here we go. Oh boy, that's bright. Anyway, I probably should have tested that earlier, but that looks okay. Yeah. All right, so I'm excited to be here. I'm excited because I love to work with winners, and you are all winners. You better get ready because we are going to have a great night tonight. Tonight, we're going to talk about the keys to success. And for me, success is more than, uh, goal setting. It's more like sales skills. It's more like time management. It's more like conditioning my mind and body for success. So, it's a whole combination. It's like a whole wheel, right? Of sales, communication skills. See, most people don't realize the power to influence and persuade is so important in your business. And so tonight we're going to be talking about success and the power to influence and persuade. So let's get right into it. Little bit, some of you are new. So if you could please follow me on Instagram right there or Facebook. We're really excited to build that up. And we give you a lot of great content. Every day we send out little excerpts that help you go to the next level and stay focused on your dreams and goals, right? And I do that as a service. I'm fired up. I'll tell you why I'm fired up. 2022 for me, January has been one of my best months in 5 years, believe it or not. And I do 7 figures a year in 7 streams of income. So it's amazing that it could even get better, and it's gotten better. This year, I'm off to 7 figures in my first month, which is pretty cool. And the reason I tell you that is because everything I'm about to share with you is what I use, and I want you guys to use it, because if it works for me and it works for my students, I know it'll work for you. So the first thing is, remember, get fired up in the morning. And, for me, I hope you guys appreciate this. I do it with prayer. I begin with prayer. And then, there's a lot of great motivational audios out there, YouTubes. You can listen to the audios that I've given you. There you can read the Bible, read the Torah, whatever works for you, But I think, you got to get up and get fired up. So even a few pages of something that fires you up. I'm in 3 of those Chicken Soup for the Soul books. Or listen to Get Motivated or something. Get yourself set for the day. So that's so important, that mindset for the day. Zig Ziglar, who I miss so much, he would always say to me, he says, when you wake up in the morning, it's not an alarm clock, it's an opportunity clock. And he'd say, if you don't believe me, just look at the obituaries. There's someone there that would be happy to switch with you. So it's an opportunity clock. So make sure you wake up and think about all the attitude of gratitude, that attitude of gratitude, saying, well, I am so blessed. And no matter what you're going through, remember, this too shall pass. And make sure that, if you believe in God, just let him take over, let go and let God. So let's get into being fired up, keeping our energy up. Never talk to a client unless you are from 1 to 10, 1 being dead, 10 being at the top of your game. Never talk to them unless you're at 8 to 10, 8 to 10. You can always come down, but you want to be right there, because people love people that are motivated. See, when 2 people meet, the person that has more congruency, more enthusiasm, more passion about what they are selling is going to take over the conversation. Listen up, by asking questions. By asking questions. People love, the bigger the better the question, the bigger the better the answer. So my goal for all of you is that you master and take all the training I've given you in investigative selling and negotiations courses and have great questions. You want to have aha questions, questions that when people hear them, they go, aha, wow, no one's ever asked me that kind of a question, or that's a really great question. So it gets them thinking and gets them open to engage and roll and compel, right? Very important. Next, you got to be committed. So you got to be committed to what you're doing. You know, I tell everybody 2022, again, practice Omar's 6-foot rule. Anybody that's 6 feet from you, you talk to them about what you do. 6-foot rule. Anyone that's 6 feet from you, talk to them about what you do, because people have to feel that you're obsessed with what you do. You're obsessed. You want to be obsessed with what you do. That's how you become successful. I was obsessed about working out. I was obsessed about getting other people in shape, whether it's to build, tone, lose weight, gain weight, whatever they wanted to do. I was obsessed because I knew I know my stuff and I knew that I could make a difference in their life. So be obsessive. Be obsessive. Remember, the key to being successful is a willingness to act and to continue that fire and desire in that willingness to act. Because most people, you know, it was funny. I was talking to a top producer today who makes 7 figures a year in the financial industry. And he was telling me that, you know, it's kind of crazy how he has a team, and he says that my team sometimes will get off the gate like we're doing really well this month. And then by the April, they kind of like change personalities. And I kind of mentioned, you know what, kind of like the football game we watched last night. How many, if any of you watched the Kansas City Chiefs play the Cincinnati Bengals, the Kansas City Chiefs were a different team in the second half that they were in the first half. And you just saw, and I said, you see that? Because you can't take anything for granted. The biggest challenge I fight every day, you guys, is comfortable. To being comfortable. You know, when you sell your business for $110 million at the age of 31, it's easy to get comfortable. And I'm now 6 years old, and it's been a constant thing for me to stay uncomfortable. Because if you're uncomfortable, you're going to keep taking from the day, not going through the day. Let me say that again. My mentor, Jim Rohn, told me to take from the day, don't go through the day. And so my goal is to stay uncomfortable and get up and be a self-starter, right? So you got to do that. Next, you got to be ready to go to the next level. I don't care where you are right now. You need to push yourself to the next level. Lift your lid. That's what I am, guys. I'm a lid knocker-upper. I like to raise a lid. You know, I talked to another gentleman who signed up with me today for mentoring, and I met him when he was 18 years old. He's 31 now, and he and his dad signed up for a year of mentoring with me. They now have 150 properties, apartment buildings in Irvine, California. And he said to me, Omar, I'm at $2 million. Can you help me go to the next level? So he re-signed up to meet with me today for another year, because we have all new programs for you guys that want to do mentoring with me. It's really great stuff. So why did he come back to me from 18 at the age of 31? Well, he said, because you were the one that my dad and I remember taking us and giving us that personal touch, that we felt like we were a part of your team and you were a part of our team and you were family. So he's back, and I'm so happy for him to come back with us. Next, got to be ready to experience massive growth. See, a lot of people like this gentleman I told you about right now, and he's not on, so I can, he hit a plateau, and you can plateau, guys. So you've got to be able to be open. Remember what I was telling you guys, become a bigger container, become a bigger container. Your goal is to become a bigger container. God won't give you more than you can handle. If you're $1 million producer, that's all you're going to get. If that's all you became, if that's the container you became. If you are multi-million like myself, then that's what you get. If you're a billionaire like Bill Gates or Warren Buffett or Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos, that's the container they became. You know, I tell people, I remember when Jeff Bezos called me up, and I was in my office, and he called me up in 2001, and he says, hey, my name is Jeff Bezos. I said, hey, nice meeting you. He says, listen, I saw you in Nightingale Conant. I don't know if you guys remember what Nightingale Conant, they used to send out like catalogs, and they would sell like Zig Ziglar and Tom Hopkins and Jim Rohn and Brian Tracy and myself. Well, I was the #1 person at Nightingale Conant. I sold more cassettes. I'm going back now, more cassettes than anybody else. He says, I want all of your books. I'm going to be selling books on the internet. And I want you to be in my catalog. It's going to be an online internet book sales. And he says, are you with me? I said, absolutely. I hung up the phone. I looked at the three ladies that worked for me right around me, like they were right around me. And I go, this poor guy, he sounds so nice. He's never going to make it. Isn't that funny? And now he's a billionaire. You know why? I didn't know he was thinking bigger than that, right? So the reason I bring that up is I want you guys think bigger. Think bigger. Wherever you are today, I want you to amplify your thoughts. Think bigger. Think bigger. Don't think big. Think bigger, right? So, and you got to be ready to make more money. I know it sounds crazy, but a lot of people say they are, but they're not. And if you notice, there's a lot of people, and like me, I did it because I tell the story about Mr. Murphy sitting me down after my first year, and I was making $300,000 a year from $147 a month. I went to 300 grand a month in 1 year, mastering all the training of my mentors and being mentored by Mr. Murphy. And he says to me, he says, how much money have you put away? And I said, what? He says, how much money have you put away? I said, nothing. He goes, what? I said, nothing. He said, who sold you that plan? I said, well, I came from Cuba. I never had money. I go out. I want to, treat my friends. I bought a Mercedes Benz. I got a Rolex. He says, oh, yeah. He's from, I don't know if you know, but Mr. Murphy's from El Paso, Texas, right? He says, oh, what are you going to be? Like we call some of these guys in Texas, big hat, no cattle. Big hat, no cattle, huh, buddy? So that day, he set up a plan for me to put away 30% of my income. And that's what I did. And that's how I got here right away. 30% of my income. Now, if you can't start at 30, remember I was single then. I was making a lot of money. Start with 10%. Put away 10%. And make sure you get yourself a financial advisor and have someone help you build your future and build your legacy, basically. Next, to enjoy a new life, you have to understand yourself. So today I want you to think about, where am I? Where am I in my life? And the first thing I want you to think about is your mastery, self-mastery. Self-mastery is what's going on between the 6 inches of your ears. Self-mastery. What's going on there? Are you feeling confident? When you look in the mirror, are you proud of yourself? When you talk to people, do you have your self-esteem and self-image give you the confidence that you need to succeed? Think about that. If not, why not? I mean, everyone on this call has my training. So if you're not listening to the audios that you have, then, by the way, most of it is, you guys all have, it's all online now. So we gave you a code. Everybody has a code here that's on. Most of you should have a code, at least if you're with me for the last year. And you should be listening to my programs, Zero to Wealth, Premeditated Success, Investigative Selling, Get Real, Get Rich, The Greatest Gift, all of those things. That's all self-development, very important. Next, the tools. The tools is where I come in. I can take you and identify whatever you need. So for instance, I've been fortunate enough, and when I say fortunate, I was talking to a friend of mine today, and he said, you got lucky. And I said, yeah, I got lucky, but I was real coachable and I was hungry. And I said, but you do need a little luck. And the luck came by putting myself in the right place at the right time with the right mentors. And listen to me, please, you got to have the right vehicle. Got to have the right vehicle. And guys, you could be on fire, but if you're selling pagers right now, you ain't going nowhere. Right? Because pagers, remember when pager was the hottest thing? I trained air touch paging out of Texas. The man sold his business for $200 million. Thank God he sold it in 2005. Because if he was trying to sell that company right now, what would he get? Zero. So please listen to me. Look at the vehicle that you're using. If the vehicle doesn't serve you, if it's not serving you properly, change vehicles. I was talking to a speaker today. I won't mention his name because you all know him. And he's gone from doing motivation, then he did motivation success, then he did real estate, and now he's changed his whole talk. We were talking today. He gave me a free NFT because I helped him. He gave me one of his free NFTs that cost 200 grand. He gave it to me for helping him put together a PowerPoint and a deck for him. And now he's teaching cryptocurrency and NFTs. And so what did he do? He moved with the times. He thought that he went from success to real estate to NFTs. And by the way, I think NFTs, cryptocurrency, real estate, success, they're all good, right? They're all good. But, everybody needs a change. Take action now. Learn to take action now. I believe that the difference that I'm talking to you and I get to live this lifestyle, my kids get to go to the best schools, and I get to take care of my parents, and I do all these wonderful things for the community, is because I took massive and immediate action. And that's how you become successful. Don't sit there. But remember, when you do something, make sure you do some due diligence and take risk, but calculated risks, right? So a conviction test. I want you to be committed. I want you to commit to me right now 90 days. 90 days that you're willing to get up with a fire in your belly. Get up with a fire in your belly for 90 days. And if you have a team, I want you to have your team get up with a fire in their belly for 90 days, right? So I'm going to get into the things that we're going to do. So this is your turning point now. This is the here and now, the turning point for you. Today, our economy is changing, guys. Get ready. This is a new economy, and it's coming. And those of you that are ready are going to thrive and survive. And those of you that are not are going to get eaten alive. Because I'm telling you right now, interest rates are going up. Property values, they're going to be flexible now. They're going to get flexible. A year ago, people were paying 20, 30% above asking price. No more. Get ready. And by the way, research shows there's 4 million people behind on their mortgages. So what does that tell you? There's going to be a time we're going to be able to help these people save their credit and help them save their credit, make money, and then we get to own real estate. Like I told you, the gentleman that started again with me since he was 18, now has 150 properties, which means 8 figures a year gross, right? So that's what we're talking about. So realize every one of you that are on this you have infinite potential. Your potential is unlimited. You're limitless. You have got what it takes. So I want you to fly like the eagle. I want you to soar up there. Soar, and I'm going to help you soar. So let's get into it. Characteristics of multimillionaires. Number one, multimillionaires are purpose-oriented and they operate themselves like a business. So if you're an entrepreneur, I want you to listen to me. I have one student who's on this call right now. I can see him. He left the corporate world and started his own business and was having challenges. And he'll tell you, he'll nod his head. And the challenge is that he was at a corporation. He was always walking into an office and he went to his desk and he knew what to do and he got going and he had people that he worked with and all that. Well, at home, he was having a challenge because he was getting up, having a cup of coffee, sitting in his pajamas or his warm-up suit and not being productive. So what we figured out is he needed to get up, do what he did, get in the shower, shave, get all dressed up, and then go to the computer. And guess what? It's working because he went back to what got him there. So what you want to do is make sure that you're using the success principles that work for your personality, right? Next, multimillionaires grow to greatness by becoming mentally tough. I'm going to show you some techniques today to become mentally tough and reject rejection and learn to see failure as temporary. See, it's temporary. Sometimes it feels like a monster, right? Failure can seem like a monster, but it isn't. It's temporary. It is temporary. And, like I tell the story, when I worked with the Marlins, when they won the World Series, I met David, who owned the Marlins, and he says, I want you to come and train my people. I met him in Canada. I trained his companies in Canada. And he says, I want you to train my staff at the Marlins, because I don't know if you guys know, but in those days, the Marlins played at Dolphin Stadium and it had no roof. Imagine selling tickets selling season tickets in Florida for the summer. Not easy. Thunderstorms, humidity, hot, lightning, hurricanes. So he said, come and train my people. So I trained all his salespeople. Then I trained his customer service people. Then I trained his leadership. And he says to me, listen, we're having a heck of a year. Would you please come and train the baseball team? So I have pictures I'll have to show you guys of myself in the dugout training like Pudge Rodriguez and all those great baseball players that won the World Series that year. And they surprised me and gave me a World Series ring. So I have one of those from the Marlins. Isn't that awesome? So I think that's pretty cool. I don't know, I mean, baseball, very, very good to me, right? So, but I have one. Isn't that amazing? I have one of those. They gave it to me. I was like, what? Really? They said, yeah, we feel like, and why do I tell you that? Gosh, I forgot. Well, I'll tell you why. Because I taught them failure amnesia. So whenever you swing and you miss, or you hit a foul ball, or you strike out, it's failure amnesia. Failure amnesia. And if you have failure amnesia, the key is you're going to fail. The key is, what do you do after you fail? That's the key. That's what make people great, right? If you look at anyone, like for instance, just talking about Tom Brady. I mean, every time he failed, the guy was unstoppable for 22 years, broke every record. He never saw failure. He has this makeup of himself that is a greatness. That's the makeup of a champion. And that's what it takes to play at a high level field. And all of you can play at that field. And don't think you can't. Don't think you can't. That's the first key, right? Because you can. Multimillionaires condition themselves for success by continuous training and never-ending improvement. Every day, read something, listen to something, work out, do what you got to do to get fired up, right? I mean, I do it every day. I'll listen to, like this morning, I listened to Earl Nightingale's first recordings just because I wanted a little something different. Tomorrow, I'll listen to myself. I know it's funny, but sometimes when I'm getting ready to do a speech, I'll listen to myself and just to hear the message, because I do 5 different speeches. So sometimes I want to hear the speech I did before and listen to it. So anyway, this is my motivation. My kids, my son Maxwell, my daughter Alexandra, that's my why. So the reason I'm bringing this up, you need to, beginning of the year, I want you to find your why, take out a white cardboard, storyboard, and dream. Dream what you want for this year. Okay? Like for instance, here's a home I was brought up, Joliet, Illinois. Here's my home in Boca Raton, Florida. Here's my home that I just sold in Laguna Beach. Hey, that's a 3-level home on direct ocean in Crescent Bay in Laguna Beach. It's if a Cuban immigrant can come from Cuba and do this and get lucky enough, I say blessed enough, to work with people like you, why not you? Why not now? Why not starting today? You have greatness within you. So let's go. All right, there are many investment strategies to become rich. The first one, wholesaling. Now I've got students that one's on the call right now, and he does very well in wholesale. In fact, last month, he did a deal for $45 million. One deal made $45,000. $45,000. That's not bad for one deal in wholesale. By the way, wholesale is when you lock up a property, put no money down, tell that person you can sell their property within 30 days and do a consignment assignment contract and hand it over to an investor, and the guy cut him a check for 45 grand. That was one sale. He's doing 3 a month. So you can imagine. We're having fun. He just signed up with me in October in mentoring. So next, buy existing businesses. I bought last year 3 businesses and sold them right away. Or now we're going public with one of them. And you guys know the name of it, SOS Hydration. And now I have an insole company from Portland, Oregon that I'm working with, and some other champagne company and some other things. There's a lot of businesses right now, men and women, that don't want to continue to work so hard. They want to come in and support the business, and they'll stay with the business, but they don't want to do it. So like in the last 3 months, I bought 3 medical centers, and the doctors are staying on board. I bought it with no money down, and I'm paying them with their own money. And because they were kind of burnt out and not really good at business, I rebranded their marketing. I added some additional services, and now we're doing 150K more a month on one of them. The other 2 are not as good, but 25, 30K more a month. But for me, that's a win, because I had 3 medical centers with somebody else's money, which is a win. By the way, you can do this all day long. You just got to know what you're doing. Find businesses that are existing, that are cash flowing, that the person is sick and tired of being sick and tired. And you come in, you give them a nice pitch, a nice, deck. And that's a PowerPoint, that's a presentation pitch, and buy them out. It's fun, it's easy. And make sure that you have good mentoring and good management. Tax liens are hot right now. People are behind on their taxes for their properties. Now, there's 2 types of states: tax lien, tax deed. Tax liens are when people are behind on their taxes. The state will sell their lien, their taxes to you. In Florida right now, it's 11%. In Texas, you can get up to 18%, right? So tax liens are when they put a lien on their property. And I got to tell you, I'm very direct. Most of them pay it back and take the property back. But what do you care? You're making 11 to 18% on your money. It's better than the banks, guys. 0.50. I'm doing it. The other one is a tax deed state. Now, a tax deed state is when you buy the property, and the property, now you own it. Buyer beware. A lot of tax deeds, make sure you put a contingency in your tax deed contract. A lot of tax deeds have liens on them. Could be a construction lien, a roofing lien, could be a contractor's lien. So make sure that you're buying a deed that's clear of liens, and you're getting the deed so that's only the taxes. All right. If you ever want to talk about that, we can do that sometime. I wrote a book on it. Anyway, fix and flip. Fix and flip is finding, fixing, and flipping the property. Normally, right now, it's taking about 60 to 90 days to do that. And you don't have to have money to do that, but you have to have a hard money lender. And if you don't have money, and they will ask you for, listen to me, 30%. Say the property is 100 grand, you need 30 grand, right? You don't need it all. I hate to tell you this, when I started doing that, I used to have credit cards, and I used my credit cards, but I paid them back. I paid them immediately. So, you have to have like 30%. You have to have at least 3 months of your insurance, 3 months of your taxes, 3 months of your interest, and your rehab costs. So you need a little bit of money, but here's what I tell people: if you don't have money, get a partner. Get a partner to put that part of it. You do the sweat equity and get a hard money lender. The key is to get out within 90 days, okay? The goal is to get out within 90 days. You should be able to go on in, don't take on more than you can handle. Do like I call it a lipstick rehab. Lipstick rehab is minimal, fixing, like say you see some mold or windows or something. So you do like paint, molding, you do all get an appliance package. They have them at all the places, all these appliance packages, do air conditioning, heater, do outside landscaping, inside fix it up, and then make sure you stage the home properly. All right. Next, rent to own. Guys, rents are going up, 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 up. That's why this young man signed up with me again. He said, you helped me and my dad. My dad was a corporate guy. He's now, has 150 properties, and all we do is manage them. And we're having a blast. And he said, we live in Irvine, California, which I knew that because that's where they signed up with me. And they rents are going up. By the way, rents are going to go up, and they're going to continue to go up. Any of you that are renting, or any of you that are own rentals, that rents are going to go up. And then, of course, lease option. A lease option is very simply put, when you own a property, when you rent a property or lease it, and what you do is you cut a deal with the owner that I always tell people, make sure you do this. Part of your rent goes towards the down payment of the house. And you negotiate the house price when you negotiate the rent. Then part of that rent goes towards the down payment. Second of all, put an option there that you have the right to renegotiate at the end of the lease. Why? If the market goes down, and I believe it's going to this year, you want to not get stuck on that price and have to walk away. You want to have the flexibility to be able to renegotiate, okay? And they will, you know why? Because the prices are going to change. All right, I hope you guys like that right there. Good stuff. Yeah, let's move on. Well, no, it's not moving. All right. All right. So I told you, purpose, work to learn, don't work for money. Listen to Omar, please. Success is not the result of making money. Making money is a result of success. The one thing that I loved about learning what I know and what I can teach you guys is that I can look at any property. I can look at any business. I can do it a startup business. Like, I wrote the book, The Smart Startup. That's #1 in the world right now with Tom Hopkins, my mentor, and Brian Tracy wrote the foreword. And I can tell you that I have mastered my system so well that I can do anything and help entrepreneurs go to another level. And I love that because I worked hard to get here. I'm not bragging. I'm telling you, I worked my ass off to get here. And I studied my butt off. It's funny. A lot of you know I lost my beautiful wife 4 years ago. And she would always say to me, I have all these books right now. I could show you, they're right around me. Like, I have all these books that I take notes. Look at all these books. I take all these notes for you guys, right? And I don't know if you could see it, but she would say to me, Omar, you still got those books. I have like hundreds of them. And they have all my notes and little things I can share with you guys. And she goes, don't you know it by now? And I'd say, honey, you gotta stay fresh. Zig Ziglar told me to go over my stuff like every time I speak. So that's what I'm doing. So that was pretty funny. So you gotta have a purpose. What's your purpose? Find your why. Next, gotta be a PPS, right? This is me. I hope you guys give me credit because everybody uses this and nobody gives me credit for it. Be a PPS, a professional problem solver. You got to be a PPS. I'm your professional problem solver. People will pay you big money to be a PPS. I get paid 7 figures a year to be a PPS in multiple streams of income. Why? I've become that valuable. And listen, so can you. So can you, right? So let's get into it. The power to influence and persuade, investigative, selling, and negotiation skills. You've got to master, and I'm going to cover some steps for you. The power to influence and persuade. First, pre-plan and prepare your day. Why do I say that? I have a little saying, any entrepreneur that wakes up without a plan is unemployed. So you got to wake up with a plan. So what I recommend to all of you, before you go to bed or at the end of your quote work day, write down the 10 to 20 things you must do the next day. Write them down, prioritize them. When you wake up, it's on your laptop, it's on your iPad, it's on your phone, it's on your pad. I do all the above, right? And of course, I have staff. So we use programs that everybody knows what they're doing. So pre-plan and prepare. Prepare. Get fired up. Get ready. If you have scripts, I hope you do. If you don't, you need to be working with me. Then you go and warm up with your scripts before you cold call somebody or go do referrals or networking, right? Next, prospecting. Guys, not too many businesses work unless you get out there and prospect multiple ways. And I'm going to share those with you today. Next, build rapport. It's all about relationships. You know, it's funny, you know, my dear friend, Kevin Harrington, he just wrote the foreword for a brand new book I have coming out. Will be my 27th book. And he wrote the foreword. I called him on Wednesday. He was going to do a mastermind. And I said, Kevin, how are you? Great. Well, we have a couple projects together. I said, we talked about the projects. He said, I have a favor for you, of you. I said, would you please write the foreword to my new book? He said, send it, send me the book. My goodness. He sent it back within 12 hours. Done. My publisher goes, oh my goodness. Wow. Are you kidding me? Yeah. It's so the foreword is done. You'll see the book. It'll be coming out in about 2 months. So get ready for it. It's called Varoom. Varoom is I wanted to have fun. So I wrote a book with my partner, Scott Zankel, on the automobile industry. And it's how to buy and sell a car, how to get your credit ready. It's just something for me, kind of fun. You know, I needed to do something different. It was fun. Next, qualifying. Talk to you about qualification. You need to qualify people so you're not wasting your time with people, right? The next thing, handling concerns. Handling concerns. Want to handle concerns. Make sure you're handling objections, handling concerns. Very important. Next, closing the sale. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but that's what I'm known for. I'm in the top 5 in the world for platform sales, and I'm hired by all the great companies to teach them closing techniques, from World Financial Group to AXA to Primerica Financial Service to PHP to BB&T to Mercedes-Benz to Porsche to Motorola, IBM, Zepp Manufacturing. These guys go into your place and they throw dirt in a garage and say, I can clean that up. Hoover, right? I work with everybody, closing techniques. That's what I'm known for. I'm proud of it. I'm really good. Everybody goes, well, I don't like closing people. Well, guess what? You're going to be broke. Because if you can't close people, listen up. If you can't close people, you can't open up the relationship. Closing is really opening. I don't know why they call it closing. They should call it opening the sale. Opening the sale, because if you don't close them, they're going to run and sign up with somebody that will close them. Because if they came to you or they gave you enough time to talk to them about their business, they must be looking for something new or a new service or product that they need. So make sure you open those relationships. Next, get quality referrals. Guys, there's nothing more exciting than getting warm referrals. When you get a warm referral, you're able to close more people. You know, they've done research that warm referrals, quality referrals, have a 60% chance of signing up with you, buying your products and services, than cold calling. So why not do both, right? And then, of course, keep your enthusiasm. Attitude. I love that word, attitude. Did you know that if you take the word attitude and say you put a number for each letter, it's from 1 to whatever, saying A is 1, T is whatever, and you go to the end, by the time you spell attitude, it equals 100%. 100% if you use a numeric system with it. Enthusiasm. I love that word. Entheos, the Greek word, and theos, enthusiasm. I love the last four letters here. I am sold myself. I am sold myself. Enthusiasm. You can't sell anybody unless you sell yourself first, right? And the next thing is systems. Systems. So make sure that you have the right systems and you put together systems. So let's talk about your 1 year sales goals. 1 year sales goals, because right now it's the end of January, January 31st. So let's talk about it. Never do anything for a reason, do it for a purpose. You must set potent goals that have structure. So let's get into it. First thing you're gonna do, analyze your current situation. Don't tell me you're gonna make $2 million if you're at 200,000. You can tell me you're gonna make $2 million this year if you did $1 million last year. I call it the law of 10. So wherever you are today, if you're at 100 grand, you could make $1 million. If you're at 50, you could make $500,000. The law of 10 can work. It's doable, but don't kid yourself. All right. I'm not going to, one thing I don't want is I don't want you guys to not be direct with yourself. And I'm not going to be, not tell you something that's, you know, if it's going to work, it's going to work. So the key is now where you are, don't focus your goals on where you are, focus your goals on where you're going. Don't focus your goals on where you are, focus your goals on where you're going, right? Don't base your goals on where you are now, because what you focus on expands. So focus your goals on what you want. Next, your business goals. Let's talk about business goals. Business goals have to be broken down into daily amounts. So I told you I want you to set a 90-day goal. So that will take us to February, March, April, end of April. So I want you to take that and work all the way back. And I want you to break it down to daily activity. If you want to make, let's say 10 grand a month, you have to break it down, daily activity. How many sales do I need, or how many, whatever. And here's what you need to realize. If you don't know that number, then you need to find someone in your industry or your business that's doing that 10 grand a month. If that's your number. I'm just using 10 grand a month as a number, okay? So please, I'm using 10 grand as a month. So that would be 90 grand. So you break it down to, 30 grand, 30, 20, 10, and then 10, break it down to weekly amounts, then daily activity. How much daily activity do you need? How many contacts? How many presentations to get those many closed sales to get the results? Okay. Next, investigative selling is nothing but a numbers game. So let's get into it. We said activity, context, closed sales equals results. But the key is to improve your conversion ratio. See, when you begin any sales business, and by the way, you're all in sales, right? Everybody's in sales, whether you're persuading someone on your new idea to invest money in it, right? You're all in sales. So if you're doing that, then you need to constantly improve your conversion ratio. Why? The key is to get more, better, warm market referrals and be better at what you do. So the more you prospect, the more money you make. So if you improve your conversion ratio, you're going to be better. And that's what when I say in my book, the more you do, the more you do, the more you do, the more you bake, the more you make. Because it's about perfect practice, perfect practice. Next. So now we take that business blueprint, and for 30 days, let's say I want to make 10 grand. I found out from another top producer in my company that he or she has, they see 100 people a month. They get 20 referrals to make 10 grand. So that means their total business goal is 120. Now, that means all you have to do is duplicate exactly what their blueprint is to get that result. Does that make sense? So I want you to realize that it's all about the numbers game. It's all about numbers. If you want to make more money, you can give yourself a raise today. All you do is increase your activity now. Increase your activity now. That's what you got to do. Increase your activity now. And if you increase your activity now, you're going to make more money. Next, you need to set a personal mission. What will you do to strengthen your mind, body, and spirit over the next year? You are the greatest asset you own, so work harder on yourself than you do on your job. It will be the greatest investment you ever made. So I tell you guys, if you really want to make leaps and bounds, mentor with me. I have a whole new mentoring program I just designed that's more one-on-one with you than before. It used to be like lessons and all this. Now it's about what your goals are, what you want to achieve, your business. So I take your specific business and I mentor you on your specific goal, your business, you and me, 1 hour a week, every week for 3 months, 6 months, or a year. Next, the most important sale you'll ever make will be you. So I want you to get prepared, pre-plan and prepare. I want you to make the difference. I want to talk to you about, a lot of you are needing more time and territorial management. So I want you to make the difference between working smarter, not harder, right? Now, what are some of the ways of properly investing your time? This is about saving time, right? Number one, I want you to track 1 week of your month. Track 1 week of your month from morning to evening, for 1 week. And I want you to look back at it and see where you can eliminate unnecessary activities. Do you hear, Omar? You're going to track 1 week of your life, and you're going to track and see where you can eliminate unnecessary activities. Eliminate unnecessary activities. Number two, combine activities. Like, for instance, whenever I work out, I listen to an Audible book. I listen to myself. I listen to my clients. If I want to learn, when I work for my clients, I literally tell them by the time I get there, I could sell your product or services. That's how much I want to become it. And so I do two things at once. When I work out, I'm always listening to something that gets my juices flowing, right? Live by the word commitment. My mentor, Tom Murphy, taught me this a long time ago. He said, live by the word commitment. Here's the 12 words I live by, guys. I must do the most productive thing possible at every given moment. I must do the most productive thing possible at every given moment. If the most productive thing possible is networking, that's what I do. If the most productive thing possible is being with you guys, that's what I do. If the most productive thing possible is having quality time with my children, that's what I do. Always do the most productive thing possible at every given moment, no matter where you are. Be there and give it 100%, right? Next, you can manage your time more effectively. So write down the 10 most important things you must do the next day. If you have more, put more. Today I had 18. Did I get through the 18? No. Some goals take more time. Some projects take more than 1 day. So all you do is move it to the next day and the next day, or whatever it takes. There's different action plans for every goal and every move. Next, 10 minutes a day to plan, but discipline all day. Keep that pad in front of you. Keep that iPad in front of you. Keep that laptop in front of you. Stay focused. It's easy to get derailed. It's easy to get derailed, right? And it doesn't happen like this. It's like kind of like gaining weight, right? You gain a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here, and then you're like, oh, shucks, right? So it doesn't happen overnight. So stay focused. Do what you do. Remember, what you focus on expands. What you focus on expands. Focus on the things that you need. Plan how much time to allocate to each task. So what I do is I put little time things like 3 minutes, 5 minutes. If it's cold calling, it might be an hour, 20 calls, 1 hour, bam, there it is, ready to go. Next, estimate the time needed for each task. B, if larger tasks, take care of them in manageable chunks. Break it down, right? Break it down. Remember what the old saying, I don't know who said it, but they said, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, right? So if it's an elephant that you're going after, you want to break it down to one bite at a time. Next, work on the most important items first. Now, you guys know I own a company called GTM. What does that mean, Omar? Get the money. The most important items is get the money. You need to make cash flow to keep your business going. Get the money, make the cash flow. Everything else can work out. Got a GTM, get the money, get the money, get the money. Every day, I want you to think, am I making income? Am I making income? Am I making income? Because if you're not getting the money, then I'm going to lose you because then you're going to have to go get a job. And I don't want that. So get the money, get the money, get the money every day. Make a little money, make a little money, or work towards making money, right? Zig Ziglar, I wrote the third forward and his last forward for my book, From Management to Leadership. And that's what he said about me. His teachings include how to principles that can help any person or company achieve success. You're in for a real treat. John Maxwell, I love him so much. I named my son after him, Maxwell. And he said, try to find a quote from John Maxwell in any book or other speaker. You won't. He's not allowed. And the reason I got it is because he and I worked together for 10 years, 10 cities a year together. And his agent is my agent. So that's how I got that. And he of course, we're friends. Omar Periu systems are an outstanding tool for bridging this gap. Omar systems are have for every entrepreneur's personal library. My dear friend, John Maxwell. Next, Bob Proctor, my other great mentor. Now, Bob has created a program with me that after he takes all his people through his program, he sends them to work with me. So as Omar's a person I recommend to all my clients. Now, I don't know if you guys know, but Bob Proctor is a big deal. He's going to be 88 years young this year. I met him when I was 19, guys. I used to go to his house, and I used to spend the weekends with him at Mr. Murphy's home. They're best friends, and we used to hang out. And he's a wonderful guy. If you haven't read Born Rich, get a copy of that book. It's amazing. He's amazing. He's one of my biggest mentors, just so you know. Before material success and wealth was never ending to my marketplace change. Anyway, he recommends everybody to me. So Mark Victor Hansen, I'm in 3 Chicken Soup for the Soul books, and he wrote the forward to my 1 Minute Meeting book, which became a huge hit. As you know, the 1 Minute Meeting was a huge hit. And he said, I wish we could put a Chicken Soup for the Soul cover on this system. That's big, right? It's designed to take, the Chicken Soup for the Soul was the second best-selling book in history after the Bible. That's crazy. And he said that he wished he could put Chicken Soup for the Soul on my systems. That's great. Anyway, so let's talk about it. Regardless of what you are selling, prospecting is a master key to success. So prospecting. So the major types of prospecting. Number 1, marketing. Marketing is your branding. Look at your branding. Make sure your branding is clear, concise, has a body that says who you are, what you've done, and what you can do for you, what they can do for you. Next, make sure that the body has a call to action. Number 2, face-to-face. Get out and talk to people. Of course, be careful. If it's an area like New York or California, wear your mask, wash your hands, follow the rules. But remember, if you're practicing Omar's 6-foot rule, you're following the rules, right? Face-to-face prospecting. Make sure you're out there networking, getting referrals, talking to people. Next, use the phone, guys. Gosh, it saves so much time. Use the phone. The phone will save you a lot of time. And then write this down. Confirm the appointment. Make sure you confirm the appointments. Confirm every appointment. Because you guys, just because we're going to a meeting and they don't show up, for goodness sakes, we're valuable people. Don't go to a meeting if they're not going to show up. Confirm the appointment. I had a gentleman who I'm training a company right now. It's a financial company. And I rode with him last week. And I wanted to ride with top producers. So he's here in Florida. So I rode with him to a appointment at 6 o'clock at night. And we pull up and the house was pitch dark, just nothing, not a light. I'm going, oh boy, I've seen this before. And he says, oh, hold on here. Nice guy. He walks to the door. I says, I'll come in the door. Well, I'm not getting out. So he knocks, ring the doorbell, nothing. He gets back in the car. I said, question, David, did you confirm the appointment? He goes, Omar, no. I says, why not? He says, I was having a hard time getting a hold of this couple and I thought they would cancel. I'm like, oh my God. So we just spent 45 minutes driving and 45 minutes going back for someone that was not interested in your product or services. Let me ask you a question, David. Are you valuable? He says, Omar, I'm the #1 producer for my company. I did $2.2 million last year. I said, then why don't you treat yourself with the respect you deserve? Confirm every appointment before you go. Don't waste your time on people that are playing games. Don't waste your time on people that are playing games. You're a valuable human being. All of you are. Next, referrals. Referrals is the name of the game. Referrals is the name of the game. Got to have referrals, you know? So referrals is the way to go. I love referrals. I told you before, you have a 40, 60% chance of closing them more than any other person. So make sure you get those referrals. Every time I make a sale, and I'm asking you guys, if you know anyone that wants to learn about me, turn them on to me. You know, I love it because we're all looking for referrals. I want to find the next top champion, the next, Garrett White, that is killing it in speaking, the next David Dweck that's killing it in real estate, or Lex Leventhal, or, anyone that works with me, any of you. I'm looking for people that are going to have massive success. Kevin Harrington, who I worked with, he says that on stage, I'm the one that helped him. The first phone call he made was me when he started speaking. I helped him with everything. And why? Because I know my stuff, guys. So get referrals from the people that like you and trust you, and get referrals from your friends, family, relatives, get referrals from your coworkers, and get referrals, period, from the people you sell, right? Next, social networking, get out there and get on that Facebook, Facebook, my kids call it old book, right? But Facebook is for the older generation, right? More like 35 and up, but work on Instagram, TikTok. I'm just getting into it now. TikTok, Twitter, we've been doing. LinkedIn, LinkedIn, do all these social platforms, Clubhouse, get a blog, do what you got to do. I'm doing all these things myself. I'm not doing a lot because I don't have to do much, guys. I don't have to work anymore. I haven't had to work for 30 years, but I love what I do, and I love working with you guys, but I'm not doing as much as I should. But if you're starting out, you should be doing all 5 of these. And remember Omar's 6-foot rule. Look at everyone as a prospect, or at least someone who may know a prospect, right? So guys, I really have a great program for you, and I don't want to rush it. I overdid it. I put too much in here. So what I want to do is I'm going to go to the end, and I'll come back and cover this for you in 2 weeks. I'll do a brief summary, and then I'll go right to here. I'll start right here because I'm over right now, and I want to cover what I want to cover. You'll see that I'm going to cover all this good stuff next time. Get ready. All this good stuff next time. Get ready. All this good stuff. So get ready for next time. I'm going to need another hour for this. So I'm going to go I want to see if some of you want to work with me. And one of the things that you got to realize, the foundation for success, the first key to becoming wealthy is to work harder on yourself than you do on your dream. So what I want you to do is, this was part 1. I overdid it. In fact, I was talking to Dan right before, and I said, I'm adding all these slides because I have this new material I want to share with you. And of course, I'm over the hour as it is. So, but anyway, I'm here for you guys. The foundation for success first key to becoming wealthy is to work harder on yourself than you do on your dream. So what I want to do is, the fastest way to grow is my systems. And the best thing to do with me is to mentor with me one-on-one. I want you to DM me if you're interested. Write this number down. This is my personal cell. Text me or call me, 561-843-1137. If you want to mentor with me one-on-one, text me or call me. I will call you back, 561-843-1137. That is my personal cell. If you call me right now, you'll see my phone light up. 561-843-1137. DM me and say, hey, Omar, I want to mentor with you. Now, listen, it does cost money. I'm not going to do it for free, right? But I will discuss it with you, and I will be very fair, and I will give you a good pricing. So you got to say to yourself, I want to work with Omar. Omar's Elite Mentoring. Is this your year? I hope you're saying yes. It's your year. Are you wanting wealth in your life? I hope you're saying, yes, I want wealth in my life. Will you invest time to become wealthy? I hope you will, because you can't make it if you don't. Will you do the assignments? There's going to be assignments you're going to have to do for your business. Remember, mentoring now has changed with me. I now work on your business specifically. It is no longer a bunch of lessons. For those of you that worked with me before, it is now, what do you want? Tell me what you want. I'll show you how to get it. Tell me what you want. I'll show you how to get it. Tell me what you want. I'll show you how to get it. That's what it's about. And you got to invest in yourself to become rich. And by the way, to invest, to mentor with me is a fraction of the cost of what people are charging out there. And most of them are broke and are just teaching you somebody else's training. So learn from someone who's done it and carved the path. So I'm going to teach you how to increase your cash flow. I'm going to teach you how to build equity. I'm going to teach you how to create appreciation. I'm going to teach you how to leverage and have repeatable income. Who doesn't want repeatable income? I have 7 sources of income. 7 sources of income. I make money while I sleep. I make 7 figures while I sleep. All of you can too. Why not you? Why not now? Why not starting today? I did it. I'm an average individual that met the right mentor, that got incredible gifts from them and created systems to share with you. What's going to happen? Results with my elite mentoring one-on-one with me. That's 1 time a week for either 3 months, 6 months, 1 year. You're going to reduce your debt. You're going to complete cycles, and you're going to increase your income. All of this mentoring with me. So here it is. You're going to get results, proven results. Finally get focused, organized, and systemized. You're going to start reaching your goals in your business and your personal goals, because it all works together. You're going to live the life you've always imagined from someone that has already done what you want to do. Me, I don't have to work. I work out 7 days a week. My friend came today and he says, oh my God, you're still working out 7 days a week. I said, yeah, I haven't seen this guy in 25 years. He was my college roommate. He says, you look amazing. I'm like, yeah, you know why I work out 7 days a week? Why? Because I have the time. Why? Because I'm rich. Because I have the money. Because I have the freedom of time, freedom of money. I don't have to work. I'm doing this tonight for you guys because I love you guys. I want you guys to have more of what you want. I don't want you don't need, if you don't want to be a millionaire, that's okay. But gosh, it's fun. If you want to be a multimillionaire like me or worth hundreds of millions or be a billionaire. I've trained 3 billionaires already. So, the key is, what do you want? It's your goals. That's what I'm telling you. The new mentoring program is all about you. It's not a bunch of 12 lessons that you go through that then, that's it. No, it's you. What do you want? What do you want? Let's build it. Let's do it. Let's organize it. Let's make it happen. So take action now today. And here's my commitment: to mentor you and coach and support you, to help you. So DM me or go to info@omarperiu.com and say to Danny, who's on the call, I want to be mentored by Omar, please. And we will reach out to you and set a time.